Hi guys, I'm super excited for today's video because today I'm going to be showing you the two other palettes in the, is it called the Legendary Diversa Part 2? I'm not really sure, but this is the collaboration that Tina, Judy, and myself did with Odens Eye. If you missed my reveal video, I will have them linked down below, myself and their videos. Just so you know all the information. Of course, the launch info will be down below in my description box as well. But for this video, I just want to showcase these two. I want to do a look with each of them, show you the lip products that they come with, and just kind of have some fun and see what I can do with these palettes. I'm sure that they did them justice more than I ever will because they created their own color stories and they know exactly what they wanted out of them, but I'm excited to play with them. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and jump right in. I think the one that I want to use first is going to be Tina's palette. So this is the Earthwood palette. It is such a beautiful color story, and I really feel like with all of our palettes, you can really see us in the palettes. I think if you know us as creators, you can easily pick out which palette was made by who, you know? So I think that is awesome, and I am so excited to be playing with this and doing a look with it. I also want to show you the lip products that Tina came out with. So she has actually chosen to do 2 of the Shine lipsticks and 1 of the Glow lipsticks. I will have the swatches on the screen, obviously, so you can see. So from left to right, we have the Shine color in the shade Brilliance. Next up is the Shine color in the shade Endurance, and then we have the Glow lipstick in the shade Creativity. So those are her colors. I think they're beautiful. Honestly, I think all of our colors in the lip products are so wearable, so pretty, just so easy to wear, and I really appreciate that. I'm gonna quickly show you Tina's palette as well before we get into doing the looks. So she has created the Spring Dragon palette, which again is so beautiful. It's so Tina. Like, I honestly don't know exactly what to do with this color story because this is so out of my comfort zone, but I appreciate that she's stuck to, you know, what she likes and her own aesthetic. And this, I see her in this. And I think that is what is so great about this collab, is that we all have such different aesthetics and we all have different preferences, and we just like different things. And I think that this palette is so her, and it's very spring. So if you're someone who likes pastels, I'm sure you're gonna love this palette because it is really, really, really pretty. Also, her lip products, she went with 2 of the Shine lipsticks and 1 of the matte lipsticks. So she is the only one who picked a matte lipstick. Originally, when they reached out to us, they were like, okay, you can pick 1 in each formula, but I think we all kind of had our preferences when it came to the formulas, and so I ended up picking more of the Shine and so on. So she picked out these shades from left to right. Again, the Shine color in the shade Dahlia, Shine color in the shade Buttercup, and the matte in the shade Tulips. So also really, really beautiful colors. I think they're very her. I would definitely wear all of these, and I'm excited to have all of these in my collection. So I think without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes, and we're gonna get started with doing a look with Tina's palette. And I'm not sure if you can guess by what I'm wearing. I definitely want to use the greens, or at least a shimmery green, because that's, oh my god, I swatched that shade and I was like, oh my god, I need that on my eyes because that is so pretty. It honestly could be like my favorite shade out of all of our collab palettes. Like, that shade, oh my god, like I was so blown away. Like, don't get me wrong, I love every single shade that I have in my own palette, but when I swatched that shade from Tina's palette, I was shook. So obviously the one that I'm talking about is this shade down here, which is called Beauty, but I do want to build a crease around that. So I'm thinking I'll do probably this neutrally transition shade and then the green, and then do this on the lid. I think that's gonna be my plan. Pretty simple, but like, I think it's just gonna look so good. So it's just what I wanna do. I'm gonna grab this one, which is the shade called Earth. Not gonna be too precise with this. I'm just gonna use this as, you know, a basic transition shade. So very simple so far. Next, I'm gonna grab the shade called Leaves, which is the dark green matte. Just taking that on a smaller, fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna use that to deepen up the outer corner of my eye. I might use some of the dark green shimmer as well because I want to see what it looks like, and I think it's just gonna look really nice with the lighter one. And I really love the depth of this. I think it is a really nice deepening shade that's gonna go with a lot of the other shades in this palette, and I feel like she's the only one who has like a really dark, colorful shade in the palette. So if that's something that you feel like is missing in the other two, maybe this would be the perfect palette for you. I do think though, in general, Tina's palette is probably the most neutral out of the 3. It's kind of hard to say, but I feel like since some of the shimmers in here are leaning quite neutral, you can definitely get very neutral looks with this. There's obviously also a lot of pops of color, but Yeah, I don't know. I would say maybe this one is the most neutral out of them. Hard to say though. But I'm gonna take the same shade underneath my eye just to make sure I can connect that to the outer corner. And as always, Odens Eye's dark mattes are always just so good. They never fail me. They always build really nicely. They're super opaque. They're never patchy. And I always just have a really good time with them. Now for the fun part, I'm gonna put on some glitter primer and then we're gonna try the shimmers. And I know already that I'm gonna be head over heels in love with this look before I've even finished it, because that green shade, it's speaking to my soul. So we're gonna start with that because I just wanna try it. So we're gonna take the shade called Beauty, which is this beautiful green. It's like a neon lime green. I don't even know, but I'm just gonna put that. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm basically gonna put this all over my lid and then we'll use a little bit of the, look at that. I'm so distracted, I can't even speak. I mean, this is everything that I would ever want in a shimmery eyeshadow. It is sparkly, it is smooth, it is shiny, it is flippy, it has a really cool like duochrome shift to it. Oh, it's so gorgeous, it applies so easily. And just to connect these two, I'm gonna grab this shade, which is the dark green shimmer called Moss. This is more of a satiny formula, or like somewhere between a satin and a shimmer, I would say. So it's perfect for doing this. That is usually how I use dark shimmers, to kind of help blend a shimmer into a matte, and it's doing exactly what I want. Oh, that is so pretty. This look is gonna be so awesome when it's all done, and I can't wait to see it. And just because I can't get enough of that green shimmer, I'm gonna use that in my inner corner as well as my lower lash line. That's so pretty, I just cannot. I'm just gonna do my lips before I do the rest of my eyes. So I'm just gonna line with a nude lip liner. And I'm gonna use the, I think, Shine lipstick in the shade Endurance, because it is like the nude one and I just think it's gonna go very nicely with this look. And this is the completed look with Tina's palette. I think it turned out so pretty. Like this green, I'm speechless. I literally have no words except for I love it. Like it is so pretty. Oh, I can't wait to wear this look the rest of the day and feel so beautiful. So yeah, I really like this. I think it's beautiful. If you like this color story, obviously you're gonna love this palette. And it's not like I'm biased at all towards this collection. Take everything I say with a grain of salt because I love everything in here. I think the lip products are beautiful. I love this color. It's very similar to one of the colors that I have, but this one's a little bit lighter, I would say. So I still think they're all different enough that if you wanted to get the full collection, I don't feel like you'd have repeats. So I think that's gonna be it for Tina's palette. Let's go ahead and do a look with Judy's palette as well. Now let's have some fun with pastels with Judy's palette. I'm thinking I wanna do probably like a two-tone-ish crease. I really want to try the yellow. It's really pretty, as well as the pink. I'm thinking those two together would look really nice, and then maybe this shade on the lid or something like that. I'm not really sure, but let's take it one shade at a time. I'm going to start with the yellow, which is called Seedling. Such a pretty shade of yellow. I'm not sure if I have a pastel yellow like this in any of my palettes. Honestly, probably because I just don't have a lot of pastels in my collection. So this is definitely going to fill a gap. I'm just going to put this in the front portion of my crease. That is very pigmented for being a pastel. And obviously if you wanted this to pop even more, you could put it on a white base, but I don't like using a white base. It's just I don't enjoy working on it because I find it to be so contrasting to my skin tone that sometimes it's just a little hard to like get a good blend. I don't know. So I just want this to sort of be a pop of yellow when I'm done with this look. So I think I'm gonna leave it like this. And I'm next gonna grab the pink shade, which is the shade called Blossom. This one is so pretty as well. And I'm just gonna do that on the outer half of my lid as well as my crease. I feel like with pastels, you really wanna keep your looks very simple and not do like too much blending and stuff, and just kind of let the shades stand on their own. That is such a pretty color. Like that is almost neon on the eyes. That's insane. Doing a little bit of this shade underneath my eye as well, probably only halfway across or so. I do want this to be a pretty subtle, I say, as I put pretty much a neon shade on my eye, but I don't want this to be like a super intense eye look, and I think once I get the shimmer on my lid, it will tone down these colors a little bit. I really want this to just be like a pretty spring sort of look. Putting on a little bit of glitter primer before I do the shimmers like I always do. And I think I'm actually gonna do this shade and this shade. So let's start with this one. This is a shade called Moss. And I'm gonna do that in the front portion of my lid. This is definitely more of a green, but it does lean a little bit yellow. So I do think it's gonna go okay with that yellow in my crease, and then we'll do the pink on the rest of the lid. And that's gonna be the shade called Petal. And I'm just gonna put that basically in between these two colors. That's really pretty. Like, this is such a very ethereal, angelic palette. I don't know how else to describe it. It's very spring, it's very Judy, and I'm so excited to see the looks that she's going to do with this, because like I said, this is pretty much like the complete opposite of what I normally gravitate towards, but it just looks so good on her that I think she'll be able to do this palette a lot more justice than I am right now, even though I really like this look, but I don't really feel like myself, you know? So this is basically going to be the look. I'm gonna go ahead and put on some lashes real quick. I just went with some small lashes because I felt like that would just be a little bit more appropriate since this is a very light look. And for the lip product, I'm gonna use this one, which is the Shine formula in the shade Dahlia. I did put on a nude lip liner, so let's see what this looks like. Such a pretty color. I really like that with this look. I feel like it very much completed it. And that's gonna sum up this 2-look video with Judy's palette and Tina's palette. Thank you so much in advance to everybody who decides to support this collaboration. I know all 3 of us have had such a good time, like, you know, just coming together and doing this and just being able to free our creativity and do something that we really enjoy. So again, thank you so much for watching. I will put the other 2 videos up on the screen that I've done with this collection if you haven't watched them already, and hopefully I will see you in my next one.